Good morning to all. This is KPH Nalli Kumari, PGT Botany from Prakasham district, Pullal Cheruvu. In the previous class, I told about the some topics in photosynthesis in higher plants. That is, what is light reaction, and where are the ATP and NADPH are used, and about the cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation. And now, today in this class, I will tell the remaining topic, that is Calvin cycle. Where this Calvin cycle occurs? Where this Calvin cycle is seen? This Calvin cycle occurs in the dark reaction. Where does this dark reaction occurs? This dark reaction occurs in the stroma of the chloroplast. During this dark reaction, the end products, by the end products we can identify the two pathways. That is Calvin cycle, and second one is the Hatch and Slack cycle. The Calvin cycle we name it as a C3 cycle, and Hatch and Slack cycle we name it as a C4 cycle. So then the end product of this dark reaction, we can identify two pathways. That is, first one is the Calvin cycle, and second one is the Hatch and Slack cycle. Calvin cycle we named as a C3 cycle, and Hatch and Slack cycle we named as a C4 cycle. In this Calvin cycle, it includes carboxylation, reduction, and regeneration. In this Calvin cycle, it includes carboxylation, reduction, and regeneration. And in this Calvin cycle, in the previous class, I explained about these phases, which includes in these phases about the Calvin cycle. First one is in this Calvin cycle, it includes carboxylation phase, reduction phase, and regeneration phase. First one is the carboxylation phase. During this phase, carbon dioxide combines with a 5-carbon compound. In this phase, it combines with carbon dioxide with a 5-carbon compounds, which we called as a ribulose 1,5-biphosphate, and it forms a 3-phosphoglyceric acid. So in this Calvin cycle, the first phase, it is the carboxylation phase. In this carboxylation phase, it combines with the carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide combines with a 5-carbon compounds, which we called as a ribulose 1,5-biphosphate, and it forms a 3-phosphoglyceric acid. And second phase, it is the reduction phase. During this phase, the carbohydrate it is synthesized by utilizing the assimilating power of the high reaction, that is ATP and NADPH. During this reduction phase, the carbohydrates it is synthesized by the assimilatory power of a high light reaction. In the light reaction, it means that is ATP and NADPH. And last phase, it is the regeneration phase. During this phase, the carbon dioxide acceptor, it is a ribulose 1,5-phosphate. It is formed again to continue the Calvin cycle. And in this last reaction, that is the regeneration reaction, in this last reaction, the carbon dioxide acceptor, that is ribulose 1,5-phosphate, it is formed again to continue the Calvin cycle. So where does this Calvin cycle occurs? This Calvin cycle occurs in all photosynthetic plants. So in this Calvin cycle, it includes the three phases, that is carboxylation phase, reduction phase, and regeneration phases. During this carboxylation phase, the carbon dioxide it combines with 5-carbon compounds, that is called ribulose 1,5-biphosphate, and it forms 3-phosphoglyceric acid. And in this next one is the reduction phase. In this phase, these carbohydrates it is synthesized by the utilizing the assimilatory power of the light reaction. Light reaction that is ATP and NADPH. And last phase, it is the regeneration phase. During this phase, the carbon dioxide acceptor, that is ribulose 1,5-phosphate, it is formed again to continue the Calvin cycles. So this Calvin cycle occurs in the dark reaction, Where does this dark reaction occurs? This dark reaction occurs in the stroma of the chloroplast. The end products of this dark reaction, we can identify two pathways, that is C3 pathway and C4 pathway. C3 it is the Calvin cycle and C4 it is the Hatch and Slack pathway. So now I will tell about the differences between these C3 and C4 pathways. So these are the differences between the C3 and C4 pathways. First one is the C3 pathway. Where does this C3 pathway occurs? It can see in the C3 plants. This C3 pathway it can be seen in the C3 plants. When it comes to the C4 pathway, it is seen in the C4 plants. So this C3 plants, it almost occurs in the temperate plants and some they occurs in the tropical plants. This C3 pathway, C3 plants, it almost occurs in the temperate plants and some it occurs in the tropical plants. When it comes to the C4 plants, it occurs in the subtropical and tropical plants. The C4 plants, it occurs in the C4 pathway, it occurs in the subtropical and tropical plants. Once again I will report, this C3 pathway, it occurs in all the temperate plants. And somehow it occurs in the tropical plants. And when it comes to C4 plants, this C4 pathway, it occurs in all the subtropical and tropical plants. So in this C3 pathway, Cran's anatomy is not seen by the leaves. Here it is Cran's anatomy. Cran's anatomy is not seen in the leaves. What is meant by Cran's anatomy? Crans means breadth. And this, if you see in the large cells, some particular plants, large cells, around the large cells, it has a vascular bundle of sheaths are present. Among these plants, the leaves which have such anatomy, it is called as a Cran's anatomy. Crans means breadth. In some plants, a large number of cells, it is surrounded by the vascular bundle of sheaths. So such plants, if we have that leaves which have such anatomy, we called as a Cran's anatomy. So this Cran's anatomy is not seen in the C3 plants, and this Cran's anatomy is seen in the C4 plants. So in this, when it comes to the C3 plants, these cells participating which will have only one type of chloroplast. This chloroplast it has present in the only one type of chloroplast. When it comes to the C4 pathway, cells participating will have two types of chloroplast, that is agranular and granular. So when it comes to the C3 pathway, the cells participating will have only one type of chloroplast. When it comes to the C4 pathway, the cells participating will have two types of chloroplast, that is agranula and granula. And next one is when it comes to C3 pathway, the chloroplast is not present. The chloroplast is not present in the C3 pathway, and in C4 pathway, the chloroplast dimorphism is present. So in C3 pathway, only Calvin cycle occurs. When it comes to the C4 pathway, in this C4 pathway, it is a mesophyll cells and Calvin cycle in bundle sheath cells takes place. When it comes to in the C3 pathway, only Calvin cycle occurs, and when it comes to the C4 pathway, it is a mesophyll cells and Calvin cycle in bundle sheath cells takes place. And in this, if we explain that in C3 pathway, chloroplast dimorphism is not present. When it comes to the C4 pathway, chloroplast dimorphism is present. And in this C3 pathway, the primary acceptor is the RUBP. The primary acceptor is the RUBP. 5 carbon atoms are present. And when it comes to C4 pathway, the primary carbon dioxide acceptor is PEP, that is C3. So in this C3 pathway, photorespiration is very high. When it comes to the C3 pathway, the photorespiration is very high, and when it comes to C4 pathway, the photorespiration is not detectable, is not present. In C3 pathway, the photorespiration is very high, and in C4 pathway, the photorespiration is not present. So in this C3 pathway, the optimum temperature is 15 degrees centigrade to 25 degrees centigrade. When it comes to in the C4 pathway, the optimum temperature is 30 degrees centigrade to 45 degrees centigrade. So this is the comparison. In C3 pathway, that optimum temperature is at 15 degrees centigrade to 25 degrees centigrade. When it comes to C4 pathway, the optimum temperature is 30 degrees to 45 degrees centigrade. And in this C3 pathway, water efficiency is low. Water efficiency is very low in C3 pathway, and when it comes to the C4 pathway, water use of efficiency is very high. Water use of efficiency is very high in the C4 pathway. So in this C3 pathway, the photosynthetic yield is low to average. In this C3 pathway, the photosynthetic yield is very average, is low. And when it comes to the C4 pathway, the photosynthetic yield is very high. So these are the differences between the C3 and C4 pathways. So these C3 and C4 pathways, these are the end products of the dark reactions. So once again, I will repeat the differences between these C3 and C4 pathway. The C3 pathway occurs only in the C3 plants, and in this C4 pathway is only occurs in the C4 plants. So these C3 plants, it occurs mostly in temperate plants and some in the tropical plants. When it comes to the C4 pathway, it occurs in these subtropical and tropical plants. And in this C3 pathway, cran's anatomy is not seen by the leaves. In this C3 pathway, cran's anatomy is not shown by the leaves. And when it comes to the C4 pathway, the cran's anatomy is shown by the leaves. And in this C3 pathway, chloroplast dimorphism is not present. And when it comes to the C4 pathway, chloroplast dimorphism is present. And when only Calvin cycle occurs in the C3 pathway, but when it comes to the C4 pathway, mesophyll cells and Calvin cycle in bundle sheath cells takes place. So only Calvin cycle occurs in which pathway? C3 pathway. But when it comes to the C4 pathway, mesophyll cells, along with mesophyll cells, Calvin cycles with in bundle sheath cells takes place. So in this C3 pathway, water efficiency is very low. When it comes to the C4 pathway, water efficiency is very high. And in this also, in this C3 pathway, photosynthetic yield is very low to average. And when it comes to C4 pathway, the photosynthetic yield is very high. And in this photorespiration is also very high in which pathway? C3 pathway. And in photorespiration is not detectable, and it means it is not present in, it is not identified in this C4 pathway. So these are the differences between the C3 pathway and C4 pathway. By this, I completed the topics about the photosynthesis in higher plants. In this chapter, photosynthesis in higher plants, only 2 marks, in the exam point of view, only 2 marks questions and 4 marks questions will come. So now I will tell that what are the questions comes from these topics in the exam point of view. 2 marks questions and 4 marks questions. The 2 marks questions now I will explain one by one 2 marks questions and 4 marks questions. These are the 2 marks questions which comes from this chapter, photosynthesis and higher plants. And these are the 2 marks questions. See, note down these 2 marks questions. 20 questions are there. And among these 20 questions, very important questions which comes from the exam point of view, I will tell that some questions only I will tell among these 20 questions. So note down this, first note down these 20 questions. First question is the name the process which takes place in the grana and stroma regions of chloroplast. And can chloroplast be passed on to the progeny? How? Where does the photolysis of water occurs? What is its significance? And next one is where is the enzyme NADP reductase located? And what is released in the proton gradient breakdown? Next question is which tissue transports photosynthesis and what experiments prove this? And next question is how many molecules of ATP and NADPH are needed to fix a molecule of carbon dioxide in C3 plants? Where does this process occur? And next one is explain the terms Hatch-Slack pathway, Calvin cycle, PEP carboxylase, bundle sheath cells. And next question is what is the role of NADP reductase in the development of proton gradient? Next one is mention the components of ATPase enzyme. What is their location? Which part of the enzyme shows conformational change? And next one is the 10th question. What products drive Calvin cycle? What process regeneration them? And next one is what is the basis for designating C3 and C4 pathway of photosynthesis? And next question is distinguish between action spectrum and absorption spectrum. And 13th question, of the basic raw materials of photosynthesis, what is reduced and what is oxidized? And next one is define the law of limiting factors proposed by Blackman. And next question is what is Joseph Priestley's contribution to the study of photosynthesis? Next question is comment on the contribution of Van Niel to the understanding of photosynthesis. And 17th question, with references to photosystem, bring out the meaning of the terms antennae and reaction center. And next one is what is photosynthetic electron transport from water to NADP, named as G-scheme. 19th question, what is the primary acceptor of carbon dioxide in C3 plants? And what is the first stable compound formed in Calvin cycle? And next question is what is the primary acceptor of carbon dioxide in C4 plants? And what is the first compound formed as a result of primary carboxylation in the C4 pathway? So these are the questions which comes in the photosynthesis in this chapter, photosynthesis in higher plants. Among these 20 questions, the important questions which comes from the exam point of view, I will give with the answers also. And first question it is name the process which takes place in the grana and stroma regions of chloroplast. Once again I will repeat the question. Name the process which takes place in the grana and stroma regions of chloroplast. Where does it takes place? The light reaction occurs in the grana of the chloroplast and dark reaction it occurs in the stroma of the chloroplast. For this question the answer it is the light reaction it occurs in the grana of the chloroplast and dark reaction it occurs in the stroma of the chloroplast. And next question is where does the photolysis of water occur? Where does the photolysis of water occur and what is its significance? The photolysis of water occurs in grana of chloroplast. Where does the photolysis of water it occurs in the grana of chloroplast and what is its significance? Its significance is during photolysis oxygen is evolved and it is the main source of atmospheric oxygen. So where does this photolysis of water occur? This photolysis of water occurs in the grana of the chloroplast and what is its significance? During this photolysis of oxygen is evolved and it is the main source of the atmospheric oxygen. And next question is how many molecules of ATP and NADPH are needed to fix a molecule of carbon dioxide in C3 plants and where does it process occurs? How many molecules of ATP and NADPH occur? 3 molecules of ATP and 2 molecules of NADPH are required. 3 molecules of ATP and 2 molecules of NADPH are required. And where does this process occurs? This process occurs in the stroma of the chloroplast. This process occurs in the stroma of the chloroplast. And next question is the distinguish between action spectrum and absorption spectrum. Distinguish between action spectrum and absorption spectrum. The action spectrum, it is the graph showing the rate of photosynthesis. Action spectrum, it is the graph showing the rate of photosynthesis at different wavelengths. When it comes to the absorption spectrum, it is the graph showing the absorption of light by pigments at different wavelengths. Absorption spectrum, it is the graph showing the absorption of light by pigments at different wavelengths. So this is the differences between the action spectrum and absorption spectrum. And next question is define the law of limiting factors proposed by the Blackman. Define the law of limiting factors proposed by the Blackman. Law of limiting factors. In this process, a number of separate factors, the rate of the process is limited by the factor which is present in a relative minimal value. So what are the law of limiting factors? In this process, it participate a number of separate factors and the rate of process is limited by the factor which is present in a relative minimal value. So next question is the what is the primary acceptor of carbon dioxide in C3 plants and what is the first stable compound formed in the Calvin cycle? What is the primary acceptor of the carbon dioxide in C3 plants and what is the first stable compound formed in the Calvin cycle? What are these? Ribulose biphosphate. Ribulose biphosphate, that is RUBP. It is the primary acceptor of carbon dioxide in C3 plants. Ribulose biphosphate is the primary acceptor of carbon dioxide in C3 plants and phosphoglyceric acid is the first stable compound in Calvin cycle. Phosphoglyceric acid, it is the first stable compound in the Calvin cycle. And next question is the what is the primary acceptor of carbon dioxide in C4 plants and what is the first compound formed as a result of a primary carboxylation in the C4 pathway? In the what is the primary acceptor of carbon dioxide in C4 plants? Phosphophenol pyruvic acid, that is a PEP. Phosphophenol pyruvic acid, it is the primary acceptor of carbon dioxide in C4 plants. And when it comes to what is the first compound formed in the primary carboxylation? Oxaloacetic acid. Oxaloacetic acid, that is OAA. Oxaloacetic acid is the first compound formed as a result of the primary carboxylation in the C4 pathway. So these are the questions comes from this exam point of view. These are the 2 marks questions, very very important questions. 2 marks questions comes from the photosynthesis in higher plants. And next one is the 4 marks questions. And now I will explain about the 4 marks questions. And next is the 4 marks questions. So note down this. These are the 4 marks questions which comes in this chapter, from this chapter, photosynthesis in higher plants. So note down these 4 marks questions. Now 17 questions are there. Among these 4 marks questions, again I will tell the important questions which comes from the exam point of view. First, you note down these 4 marks questions. 4 marks succulents are known to keep their stomata closed during the day to check transpiration. How do they meet their photosynthetic carbon dioxide requirements? And second question is the chlorophyll A is the primary pigment for light reaction. What are accessory pigments and what is their role in photosynthesis? And third question is, does dark reaction of photosynthesis require light? And explain. And next question is, how are photosynthesis and respiration related to each other? Next question is what conditions enable rubisco to function as oxygenase? Explain the ensuing process. And next question is, why does the rate of photosynthesis decrease at higher temperatures? And next question, explain how during light reactions of photosynthesis, ATP synthesis is a chemoosmotic phenomenon. And eighth question is explain how Calvin worked out the complete biosynthetic pathway for synthesis of sugar. And next one is 6 turns of Calvin cycle are required to generate 1 mole of glucose, and how it is explained. And last and 10th question, with the help of a diagram, explain briefly the process of cyclic phosphorylation. And next question, in what type of plants do you come across the Kranz anatomy? To which conditions are those plants better adapted, and how are these plants better adapted than the plants with lack their anatomy? So next question, explain the structure of chloroplast and draw a neat label diagram. 13th question, explain why 12 molecules of water are used as substrate instead of 6 molecules of water. This is the equation. And next question is compare and contrast the absorption spectrum of chlorophylls and carotenoids. Next question, which groups of plants exhibits 2 types of photosynthetic cells? What is the first product of carboxylation? And what carboxylating enzymes is present in bundle sheath cells of mesophyll cells? So among these 17 questions, I will tell very important questions which comes from the exam point of view. So first question it is with the help of diagram, explain briefly the process of cyclic photophosphorylation and non-cyclic photophosphorylation. Cyclic photophosphorylation. What is meant by cyclic photophosphorylation? Formation of ATP due to cyclic flow of electrons in photosystem 1. We call it as a cyclic photophosphorylation. And this cyclic phosphorylation, it takes place in photosystem 1. Its reaction center is P700 and it receives a wavelength of 700 nanometers. During this process, the electrons from photosystem 1, they are conveyed to electron acceptors, and the excited electrons in cycled back to photosystem 1 through electron transport system. So this cyclic flow results in the synthesis of ATP. So this is the diagram for the cyclic photophosphorylation. So note down this question, cyclic photophosphorylation. Formation of ATP due to cyclic flow of electrons in photosystem 1, we call it as a cyclic photophosphorylation. So this is the diagram for cyclic photophosphorylation. Photosystem 1 and photosystem 2, electron acceptor is there, and in this cyclic photophosphorylation we called as a jet scheme of light reactions. And in this cyclic photophosphorylation, the wavelength it is the 700 nanometers and its reaction center is P700. And in this the cyclic phosphorylation, the electrons from photosystem 1, they are conveyed to the electron acceptors. So this cyclic flow it results the synthesis of the ATP. So this is about the cyclic photophosphorylation. And next question I will tell, that is the next question is what is the structure of the chloroplast? And next question is explain the structure of the chloroplast and draw a neat labeled diagram. Chloroplast, it is a double membrane which is made up of a phospholipids, oval or disc shaped organelles, and it is concerned with the photosynthesis. This chloroplast, they are double membrane which is made up of a phospholipids, oval or disc shaped organelles which concerned with the photosynthesis. Inside this chloroplast, the granules of thylakoids are arranged in a sacs-like arrangement. Inside this chloroplast, the granules of thylakoids, they are arranged in a stacks, which helps to trap the sunlight and carries the light reactions and helps in synthesis of ATP and NADPH. And in this chloroplast, the fluid part in stroma which carries the light independent reaction and it produces the sugar. And this stroma, it contains the many enzymes of ribosomes, starch granules, lipid droplets, that helps to carry on photosynthesis. So this is the structure of the chloroplast, and note down this diagram of also the for the chloroplast. So this is the diagram for the chloroplast diagram. So if you see in this diagram, outer membrane and inner membrane, stroma, lamella, and inside this chloroplast grana are present, and also lipid droplets and starch granule. So this is about the structure of the chloroplast. So note down this question. Explain the structure of the chloroplast and draw a neat label diagram. This chloroplast is made up of it is a double membraned, and it is made up of phospholipids, and these are oval or disc shaped organelles which concerned with the with photosynthesis. And in this chloroplast, the stroma, it contains many enzymes, ribosomes, starch granules, liquid droplets, which helps to carry the photosynthesis. And next question is the differences between the C3 and C4 cycles. Differences. Tablet 8 differences between C3 and C4 cycles. C3 cycle and C4 cycle. The C3 cycles, first it is the first stable product of carbon pathway, that is C3 compound phosphoglyceric acid. It is the first stable product of the carbon pathway in C3 compound, that is phosphoglyceric acid. When it comes to C4 cycle, it is the first stable product of the carbon pathway is a C4 compound, that is oxaloacetic acid, OAA, oxaloacetic acid. And in this C3 cycle, it occurs mostly in temperate plants, and in this C4 cycles, it occurs only in tropical plants. And in this C3 cycles, leaves do not show crans anatomy. In these C3 cycles, leaves does not show crans anatomy. And when it comes to the C4 cycles, leaves show crans anatomy. And in these C3 cycles, chloroplast dimorphism is not seen. And when it comes to C4 cycle, chloroplast dimorphism is seen. And when it comes to C3 cycle, photorespiration is very high. And in this C4 cycle, photorespiration is not detectable. It means it is not present. And in C3 cycle, the transpiration is more, and when it comes to C4 cycle, the transpiration is less. And in this C3 cycle, biomass is produced in a less quantity. And in this C3 cycle, the biomass, it is produced in a less quantity, and it is a C4 cycle, the biomass is produced is a high quantity. That means biomass is a photosynthetic yield. The photosynthetic yield, it is a less quantity in a C3 cycle, and the photosynthetic yield, it is a high in the C4 cycle. Examples for this C3 cycle is almost all dicot plants, it is present in the C3 cycle. Almost on all dicot plants, we can see there is C3 cycles. And examples for this C4 cycles is maize, sugarcane, and sorghum. So the examples for this C4 cycle is the maize, sugarcane, and sorghum. So this is the 8 differences between the C3 and C4 cycles. Note down these questions. So this is very important question. So from the exam point of view, differences between C3 cycle and C4 cycles. So by this I completed the topic photosynthesis in higher plants, and from this topic I already told about the 2 marks questions and 4 marks questions. So by this I completed the photosynthesis in higher plants. Thank you all.